Hey, I'm Brian Cohn of B-Cone Knives. In this video, I'm going to show you how I sharpen my knives on the 2x72 belt grinder. Let's get into it. First off, let's go ahead and talk about the safety and risks that you're putting yourself in if you decide to grind the way that I do. I run my belt so that it's going this way, so that the belt is running towards me, the top of the belt is running towards me, and that means that at any time, if the belt catches the knife, it can throw that knife at you. So I highly recommend, and if you decide to do it this way, and I'm not necessarily advocating for it because it's definitely the more risky way to do it, I highly suggest that you wear a heavy leather apron, a face shield, and of course your ear protection to protect your ears. So if you do decide to go this way, please go ahead and wear all of that PPE because I do not want you to get hurt. And if you do get hurt, please don't come to me because I told you that this is a dumb idea. So let's get in a little bit tighter so I can show you a little bit better on what exactly I do and how I set myself up for success to grind in really sharp knives on the belt, specifically the slack portion of the top part of this belt. As you can see, this knife is ground down really thin to the edge before I sharpen it. In a perfect world, you want that to be a zero edge that can already cut paper, and the thinner you can make this portion of the blade before you start sharpening, the better. At this point, you want to put in your primary bevel angle. It doesn't have to be the absolute final primary bevel angle that you end up on. This is just getting that primary bevel started. So you want to make very slow passes and very controlled passes. Definitely don't change your angle at all, because any variation in how you're holding that knife or how you pass it along that belt will show up in your final bevel. While we're still on the 220 grit, we can move up to the slack portion of the belt. The key to this is you want to get as close to that top wheel as possible without touching it, because you're looking for a really tight slack portion of the belt. And the closer you are to that top wheel, the tighter that slack is going to be. You're putting in an apple seed edge, which means that it's slightly convex, but that is still tight enough where it is still going to come out to be razor sharp in the end. While you're just getting used to the way that this is going, I highly suggest that you turn down your VFD as low as 20 to 30%, just so you can feel how the belt is going to react with your knife edge, so that you don't accidentally, catch the tip and throw it into yourself. As you get used to this sharpening method, you will be able to turn up the speed to about 60 or 70%, which is where I run it. At this point, you should already have a burr forming. As you can see, it's all the way across the edge. It's that really fine piece of steel that folds back and forth as you touch it with your finger. That is a really good sign, and that's what you want to see. Now we're going to run up through all of the grits. This is 400 grit. We'll go 400, 800, 1200, 2500, and then do a buffing belt at the very end. I'm going to leave all of these in at full speed so that you can really see the process and how slow I'm actually moving. It does not take a crazy amount of time, but you need to be really careful about maintaining the same angle all the way throughout the process and taking your time so that you can make a nice bevel. If you've watched this far into the video and you've enjoyed what you've watched or gotten some information out of it, please go ahead and help my small channel by subscribing and ringing that bell. It is a huge way that you could support my small channel, and it's absolutely free to you. If you'd like a custom knife, please go ahead and message me on Facebook or Instagram. We'll have a conversation back and forth and design a perfect knife for you and get that thing made. Now that I've gone up through all of those grits, I have my buffing belt on my broadback, and I use white compound. Now, I've heard that white compound is about the same as 1,000 grit, but you'll be surprised just how much different the 1,000 grit sandpaper versus the 1,000 grit compound is going to leave a completely different finish. 1,000 grit compound, I find, makes a mirror bevel on your cutting edge, and I find that that is the key to making a super, super sharp knife. So I'm going to turn this thing on full blast, throw on a little bit of compound, and then go ahead and finish up the bevel by just very, very lightly passing my knife over with the white compound on the buffing belt. Buffing the final edge is a whole different animal in itself. It is incredibly dangerous, so please be extra careful on this. You want to make sure that you are grinding point side down and you're making nice, easy, straight movements, and make sure that the point is never pointed up towards the top of the belt. If the point catches on the belt, it will for sure grab and throw it into the ground or into you. So please be extra careful. Also, you want to make really nice slow movements like you have been all the way throughout. Maybe even just slow it down a little bit more and you'll get a great finish. After a quick cleaning with acetone and paper towel, this is what we have. It's a really nice mirror polished bevel that is just absolutely razor sharp. Let's go ahead and see how it does against paper. Nice clean cuts right through paper, and then let's go ahead and see how it shaves. As you can see, it shaves like a beauty. I am really, really pleased with how these knives come out on that belt finish. Do you know what might just be a little bit better than a shaving sharp knife? B-roll. That's it for this video. I truly appreciate every single one of you guys for your support of my small business. I couldn't do half of what I do without your guys' support. Please go ahead and check out my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok pages. All of the links for those will be in the description down below. I also have a website if you want to check out my available knives. That will also be down in the description down below. I truly appreciate you guys, and if you want to hear more from me, go ahead and check me out on the Work For It podcast. That is a fantastic podcast with Brian House, Ben Butler, and myself, where we talk about business in the workplace and jib and jab back and forth. Really interesting discussions go on there. I truly appreciate every single one of you guys. Have a great rest of your day.